everyone, hope you're all doing very well. Today we're going to continue doing the series of different features, how to draw different features, and the last one that we done was an eye, and today we're going to be doing lips. So I'm going to get started. As materials, I'm using charcoal as per usual, and I've got charcoal, I've got some blending sticks, I've got a regular rubber, and I've also got one of these rubbers for more precision, and a little hair seems to be on the way. So yeah, let's get started. So I think the most common mistake that people do is that when they draw lips, they generally do the outline first, and I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is that I've got an image of lips from the internet. I'm just going to draw kind of like a little bit of an outline, but not much. I'm actually going to be drawing a shape rather than an outline, and I'm going to be setting a ground for the whole shape. Yeah. Now, the important thing when drawing lips is to notice that the top lip is actually a lot darker. So I'm just going to get more or less the outline of where the parting of the lips is. Yeah. And as soon as I get that done, I'm going to make the top lip a lot darker and also the sides of the lips a lot darker. So right now I don't want any kind of definition. I'm interested in getting a good shape, and I'm also interested in getting a good ground set on. And ground refers to a base tone that you can work from. Yeah. So right now, as you can see, I've done the top lip a little bit darker. So I'm already making the shape appear like a form. So the difference between shape and form is that shape is two-dimensional, that means flat, and form is three-dimensional. Yeah, so it occupies space like a sculpture, let's say, or a human being. So right now I've just got a good base set on in terms of tone. Yeah. And I'm going to be putting on some very dark darks before I carry on. Yeah. Following this, I'm going to start making these lovely little wrinkles that we all have to make them look a little bit more realistic. And note how they're bigger at the top, the space between them is bigger in the middle of the lips. And as I start going into the, how do you call this one? The ends of the lips, I'm making them smaller. I'm also doing directional mark making. These ones are going sideways, these ones are centered, and the other ones are going to the other side. Yeah, it's those little details which basically are going to make your drawing look realistic. Observing the direction of the mark making, and also how big it is at the front and how smaller it gets on the sides, because then you're playing with a perspective. Okay, so right now this is what I've got. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start smoothing in with a blending stick. I'm going to be making these lines a little bit thinner in the ends. Can you see that? That's already looking better. So blending sticks are great because of many reasons, but one of them is that you can get a lighter tone, and also you can refine the weight of the line. That means that you can make a line thinner, you can make it thicker, not thicker, but you can make it thinner. Okay, that's that for now. And now I am going to get the magic of my rubber. And look at this, what this does. So I'm going to be careful because at the top I don't want to be lightening too much. because as we remember, the top lip is darker than the top one. I can also get rid of marks that I don't want. Yeah. So I'm just putting a little bit of highlight on the top lip, but not too much, just a little bit, and it's generally towards the top of the lip and also inside of the wrinkles. So if I just don't apply too much pressure, I won't be losing darkness. Yeah. And now here in the center, on the bottom lip, the lip is a lot lighter because that bit sticks out more, therefore reflects more light. So that's a good bit of info. When things are sticking out from an object, they're always reflecting more light and therefore they're lighter. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. At the moment my lines are a little bit too prominent, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go again with a blending stick and soften them up a little bit for a more natural look. Yeah. And the other thing that I'm going to do just before I say goodbye to this one is that, as per usual when working with charcoal, I'm just going to reinforce my darks quickly, because always with the blending and the rubbing you tend to lose your darks a little bit. I'm also going to give a slight shadow on the bottom lip where it's just underneath the parting of the lips. So I'm reinforcing the shadow there, the ends of the lips, which are always darker, and just a little shadow there. Yeah. So I'm going to have a quick look, see what else I can do. I think a little bit more rubbing on the bottom lip would be a good idea. And when I'm rubbing out in kind of like a regular way to get the kind of wrinkly bits that we get on our lips. So if you just pat your rubber a little bit, you get a little bit of texture and a little bit of pattern that can be kind of similar to wrinkly bits. Okay, I'm just gonna even them out a little bit because they were a little bit. Alright, and I would say these lips are okay for me, so I am gonna leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and I've hoped that you have learned some useful tips for drawing lips. Bye bye!